size, 220 pounds plus. You saw some of the video in the offseason, him squatting 600 pounds and stuff like that, so he's a weight room freak. So, I mean, I think the addition to him, this offense, could be interesting. Some of the running, it's not going to be Kyler Murray type of running game, more downhill, kind of short yardage, can plow through some guys for extra yardage. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this thing evolve. And I'll tell you, you look at him throughout his tenure at Alabama. Early, he started as a freshman. They played a risk-averse offense, right? They're going to run it. They're going to slow things down. They're going to keep the throws really simple for him. And his numbers, people thought he lacked the ability to throw the football down the field. Well, they change offenses. They go to a more up-tempo, opened-up offense, and his numbers were excellent. Really, really good last year. Over 70% completion percentage. More, there's differences, obviously, what Oklahoma does, what Alabama did, but there's more similarities there than ever before. So I think that carryover is going to be really good for Jalen.
Lincoln Riley says it's a quarterback battle. You won't just see Jalen Hurts this weekend. You'll see Tanner Mordecai, Tanner Schaefer as well. It'll be interesting to see how those young men respond. And certainly they have plenty of firepower around them. Let's start in the backfield. Oklahoma returning a couple of big-time ball carriers. Kennedy Brooks goes for over 1,000 yards last year, 12 touchdowns. He burst onto the scene really in this game a year ago. He had his coming out party in the spring game, but about midway through the season, he became maybe the primary ball carrier for Oklahoma.
It's amazing. It honestly is. I can't remember the last time Oklahoma didn't have two really good running backs, and we're going to have that again, at least two. You throw in a guy like Pledger, and you've got more than that. Brooks is a great downhill guy. He's a smooth runner. He's deceivingly fast. It looks like he's kind of jogging three-quarter speed, but he's a real fast, explosive guy. And then Trey Sermon is a running back that'll come in and straight up run over you late in games. He's going to come in, be very difficult to tackle for a team that's been out on the field for 70, 80-plus snaps. And I just think that 1-2 combination. Who's the starter? Who cares? Both guys are going to get tons of time. You may not have huge numbers. You see both guys right around 1,000 yards last year. I just don't think Oklahoma's going to be a team that has a guy that's going to go for like 2,000 yards like we've seen some of the guys at Stanford or some of the different teams out there, because we're going to split duties quite a bit. Lincoln has always said, I'm going to go with the hot hand, and sometimes that's going to change in the middle of a game.
Doesn't matter who the starter is. Trey Sermon has worked, he's been perfectly happy filling the finisher's role the last couple of years, the minister for this team. And you mentioned briefly TJ Pledger, exciting when we had the opportunity to see him before his injury a year ago. Then we talk about the pass catchers, and man, are they loaded. Of course, Hollywood Brown is gone, but this guy's back. What a highlight reel CeeDee Lamb put together last year.
That's unbelievable. He can make every play. He can go up, as you see, going down the field and making plays. He makes them on the sideline. He's good after the catch. Whenever you talk about wide receivers in the NFL draft and checking all the boxes, he's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the physicality, he's able to run all of the route tree, he's got it all.
Big-time game in the Orange Bowl, too.
Big time. I mean, yeah, huge in the Orange Bowl. He was the go-to guy, and that's against some of the best coverage corners you're going to see in college football, which kind of shows you that next-level potential.
Over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns last season for CeeDee Lamb. And then you got some big bodies you can throw to over the middle as well, and Grant Calcaterra and Lee Morris. Grant Calcaterra big in the Big 12 championship game.
He showed up whenever you needed him. He's got great eye-hand coordination. Look at this play he makes right here, one-handed. Had a huge day. It just shows the potential he's got. Good size, and another guy that's big and doesn't look like he's going fast, but deceptively a really fast guy. He's got good attention to detail. He knows those coverages, where to sit down in zone, when to take it high in man coverage. He's another guy. He's like an Andrews, but maybe a little bit quicker.
Lee Morris, the TD maker, back next year. He's another big target. They're going to move Braden Willis, I think, into the backfield as a fullback. Yep. And then a bevy of five-star wide receivers and tight ends that they bring in. And Trajan Bridges, Jaden Hazelwood, Theo Weiss, Austin Stogner. Don't forget about Charleston Rambo, who had the big game in the Orange Bowl, the big catch in the Orange Bowl.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
It really is.
Offensively, we've got so many guys. I just don't know how you're going to get them all on the field. And once they're all out there, you only got one football. That's the problem. We wish we could play with two. But really athletic guys, a great group. And they've stepped into a really competitive atmosphere. It's going to bring those guys up to their top game really quickly.
What is your biggest question about this offense going into the fall?
It's got to be quarterback. You know, we've seen these guys the last couple of years in this offense go out and win Heisman trophies, and that's what we've come to expect from quarterback at Oklahoma. Now, Jalen Hurts, if he wins the spot, it could be a little bit different. Now, he's going to have the great skill guys like we just talked about, but the offensive line is going to be the question mark. Both Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray had the ability to play behind the two best offensive lines in those given years, in my opinion. Definitely last year they won it, the year before they should have. So the offensive line is going to factor in really big for Jalen Hurts. If they're not as good as we've seen in the past, his production could struggle a little bit, but I still expect this offense to be outstanding.
Going to be interesting to see what they see out of the offensive line in the spring game. A lot of new faces, and Creed Humphrey, who is the lone returning starter at center on that offensive line, is out.
And that's going to be difficult throughout the spring. I mean, he's the anchor. He's the smartest guy on that offensive line, knows how to, you know, call out all the fronts, call out all the blitzes, and the physical ability is there. As a center, I mean, he's 6'5", 330 pounds, just an absolute monster. He's going to be a first-round pick in a couple years.
Well, there's a new leading voice on the defensive side of the ball. It's Alex Grinch. We'll take a timeout. We're talking defense next as we get you set for the 2019 Energy Day OU Spring Game.
The 2019 Energy Day Spring Game Preview Show is presented by Devon Energy, inspiring tomorrow's problem solvers, and Basic Energy. Our life's work is the life of the well.
What makes a masterpiece? The virtuoso understands all acclaimed creativity comes through intelligence in design. So does the brainpower behind Flogistics. Our systems, like Logix PLC and Flux, came from continuing, day after day, improvement upon improvement. This is where brilliance and artistry unite. Flogistics. It's always been about mastery in the details.
Scribe, take this down. For far too long, people have been left to wonder what ingredients are in their beer. As your leader, make that handsome leader, I shall put an ingredients label on every case of Bud Light. This way, the people will be sure that the kingdom's favorite lightest lager is brewed with the finest ingredients. That was really great. Did you get that?
Oh, was I supposed to be writing that down? I was drawing this.
Introducing our new ingredients label coming in February.
ADM milling is really a part of the fabric of the Enid community. So if we were to have lost them, it would have been more than the 70 jobs that they employ.
OG&E, the City of Enid, and the Enid Regional Development Alliance were all great to work with. Not only does it allow for the growth of the new mill, but also the power is there to make that happen for the future.
There comes a time when exceptional talent rises to the occasion. And for Oklahoma, that time is now. OU Medicine is Oklahoma's premier academic health system. With a team more than 12,000 strong, we provide comprehensive specialty care for every stage of life. Research-driven, we're pioneering today's breakthroughs and discovering tomorrow's cures. OU Medicine, #1 in the field.
Yeah, let's get with it.
Welcome back to our coverage of Spring Football Energy Day 2019. Let's talk defense now. New defensive coordinator for Lincoln Riley this year. He comes from Ohio State. Teddy, what are your thoughts of Alex Grinch so far?
I like him. He's hungry. This whole defensive staff is hungry. They're going to be aggressive. They're coming in. They're trying to flip things around. I like Grinch. I think what he does defensively is going to fit into this conference really well. He's going to move his guys around a lot. He's never going to give those offensive lines the same picture, 2-3 snaps in a row. They're going to let the linebackers run, and they're going to challenge people in the secondary.
The name of our coverage this year is, as you see, Spring Football Energy Day. That is apropos with this guy.
There's
he is
no
a
doubt about
bundle
that.
of energy.
And
isn't he?
all the defensive staff that they've plugged in are the same way. I mean, really energetic guys. Not only are they great on the field with these guys, they're great in meetings, and they're hitting their recruiting trail hard.
Well, our Jessica Cootie had a chance to sit down with the new DC at OU, Alex Grinch.
Let's go! Let's go! Gotta run! Gotta go! That a kid. That a kid! That would have worked.
We're certainly making progress, and that would be, you know, I guess 1A on the list of things that have to get done. There's impossible in 15 days to walk off the practice field or game field after a spring game and say, you know, we got it all accomplished.
You've obviously talked a lot about it being an effort-based defense. How have they bought into that and that mentality and making sure they're giving it max effort every single snap?
Sure, and just been very excited by the overall buy-in. That gives us a shot. That has allowed us to take advantage of more days than we haven't taken advantage of, with just so few days on the field, in pads, not simulating the game that we play, but actually playing the game. And so that's been a real positive. I give a lot of credit to the assistant coaches and obviously the players, and so that's obviously has to continue.
There's one speed, and it is your max speed. Every single snap. Do your job 3 reps in a row. Here we go. Speed D on 3. 1, 2, 3. Next play! Next play! Next play! Let's go!
Speed D, how would you describe Speed D?
Well, and it was never intended to be a hashtag. It was never intended to sound cute. That's not who we are, what we are. It's a reminder to us as coaches to not say anything to a player that would slow him down. You know, make sure that in the name of being a great coach from an X's and O's standpoint, that you remind yourself that if it adds thinking to the play to your players, then it's probably an inappropriate thing to install. If it's a coaching point that allows the guys to play faster, let it rip. So that's one from a coaching standpoint. Then from a player standpoint, is if in that moment, you know, should I run to the ball, should I not run to the ball? We're trying to take the thinking away from you in that respect as well. Run, you know, so slow guys. How they play is really what I'm referencing. If you're the slow one, now we're playing with 10. If there's 2 of us, you decide to play slow, then we're playing with 9. Just a constant reminder to them that playing at max effort, max speed is how we structure our defense.
You talk a lot about the effort and how important that is to your defense, but the personnel, the pieces that you've got, how do you feel about some of the players that you're working with on the defensive side of the ball here at OU? We're
improving every single day, and really what we look for is okay, you know, how many guys are, you know, after 15 days will establish themselves as starters, you know, going into the fall. How many guys are challenging from a 3 on the depth chart to a 2 on the depth chart to a 1? But certainly there's been some highlights. You know, the Neville Gallimores of the world, excited about him in the front. Kenneth Mann, I think, is progressing. Ronnie Perkins is progressing. Kenneth Murray in this second level of our defense, some young linebackers, I think, that possess some athleticism. Been pleased with you know, consistency in Patrick Fields. And again, you know, and I mention those guys because they're trending, at least minimum, they're trending towards being starters in this program. And then, you know, once you become a starter in this program, then the standard is not just to do that; it's to be an all Big 12 defender and one of the best defenders in the country. And so, the thing we tell the guys is, no matter where you are today, there's somewhere you need to be. It's either a 3 to a 2, a 2 to a 1, or a 1 to an All-American. I mean, that's so there's obviously progress being made, but also a lot of progress that's still yet to happen.
He's the new guy. He's got new ideas. He's got new philosophies. He's got new schemes, new blitzes. Are we going to see anything different out of this defense this weekend?
Well, they're going to be real vanilla in what they do, but the defensive line is going to look completely different. It's an attack group. They're not catching and reading. They're flying off the football. They're pinning their ears back, hitting gaps, and there's going to be a lot of movement up front. There'll be movement before the snap and movement after the snap. And on the back end, second level, they're going to be ripping at the ball. That's one thing that you're going to see. You know, this team has lacked in turnovers the last couple of years. Huge emphasis this spring from Grinch and crew. That's one thing you're going to notice, is they're going to be tearing at that ball trying to get it out.
Alex Grinch, not the only new Sooner assistant on the defensive side of the ball. Former Sooner Brian Odom is back, and from UCLA, Roy Manning, he has put out some viral videos already. And again, all of those guys extremely energetic.
Yep.
Come on.
energetic, young, hungry. These guys are all hungry in their careers. They want more right now, and I think that's good. You know, you look at the background. Alex Grinch and Roy and even Brian were out at Washington State together. They had a turnaround of that defense to take it from kind of nowhere to put them on the map, top 25 unit.
Take a look at some of the other guys returning on the defensive side of the ball. You've got some veterans that are going to be back, like Kenneth Murray, Parnell Motley. Unfortunately, Caleb Kelly injured. We'll talk about that in a second. The Trays, Brown and Norwood, Robert Barnes, Kenneth Mann, Neville Gallimore, not pictured there, or pictured there, not listed. Ronnie Perkins. They do have some talent back defensively, Ted.
Yeah, they do. Ronnie Perkins, LaRon Stokes, a junior college guy that's come in, and Famata'u across that defensive line. They're going to wreak some havoc. That's going to be a fun group to watch. And the Caleb Kelly, the injury going down, you hate that for Caleb. He's had a tough road. Hopefully he comes back 100%. But that gives Deshaun White an opportunity to step in and take a starting role, which this coaching staff has challenged him to do. And, man, is this kid athletic. He can run sideline to sideline. He's smart. He's hungry. He's going to be a really good player.
But anytime Teddy starts to talk about Deshaun White, he gets excited. That's back to when we first saw the kid. And you've mentioned Dylan Famata'u a couple of times.
Yeah.
You think he could have a breakout year this year?
I really do. I think he's going to have a good season. He's come into this spring hungry. He's taken a leadership role in that defense, and this suits him. It's an attack defense. It's not a hit-and-read defense, and he's blowing through that offensive line.
A couple of things you talked about there, attitude and philosophy. This is going to be a different Oklahoma defense this year, a better Oklahoma defense this year. Why?
Effort. Effort. And if you've heard me talk about defense, effort is number one. You have to start with 11 guys 100% effort to the ball, and that's something that this crew preaches. Speed D. You've heard Alex Grinch say it a ton. It's 11 guys flying to the football. That's going to be the big thing. And aggressiveness. They're going to take some risk, okay? And they may give up some big plays, but they're going to create a bunch, too. They're going to create them in the backfield, and they're going to create them with turnovers on the back end.
We'll talk special teams next. It's Spring Football Energy Day 2019. Back after this.
The 2019 Energy Day Spring Game Preview Show is presented by Kimray, industry-leading benefits. That's the Kimray way. And Flogistics, an oil and gas optimization company.
This is Shiler Wheeler neighborhood, and this is a story of change. In the shadows of downtown Oklahoma City lies a forgotten neighborhood. There was a scarcity in opportunity and a scarcity of hope. For 16 years, FaithWorks has served to uplift this community through after-school programs, tutoring, employment opportunities, and paths to home ownership. This is a changing neighborhood. This is transformation. This is FaithWorks. And you can be a part of this change too.
Oklahoma Athletics is proud to announce our Community Cornerstone partnership with Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, OU Medicine, and Coca-Cola. With their support and partnership, we have been able to increase STEM education opportunities to Oklahoma public schools, donate over 1,500 pounds of school supplies and food to Oklahoma families, and have raised over $50,000 for the OU Children's Hospital. We are thankful for their continued commitment to support Oklahoma communities through this partnership.
You know, you're always going to be greeted with a smile and a high welcome to Charleston's.
We want you to feel like a guest here, like you would be in our home.
You get the best quality food, you get the best service, but it's really the repeat business that makes it something special.
They stop and tell you this is our special occasion place.
We focus on being the best in the industry, and we take pride in that. And it's fun being a part of it because it's easy coming to work.
Our people make us special. Our food makes us Charlestons.
I'm Michelle Wee, and I'm a pro golfer. I'm Jeremy Pointsnow, and I'm a competitive golfer.
I work hard every day.
Every day to improve my craft.
Because I want to be the best.
The best that I can be.
I shoot in the 60s and 70s.
I shoot in the 70s and 80s.
I've won a major golf championship, but I've never done it blind. I salute challenge athletes like Jeremy Pointsnow, the true heroes of sport.
Welcome back. Let's talk special teams, and a gaping hole there because OU loses Austin Seibert, the all-time leading scorer in Sooner football history. Teddy, that means they need a new kicker, and they need a new punter, and a kickoff guy.
And a kickoff guy. He did everything. And sometimes with the kicker and a punter, you don't notice them until they're gone, right? And he was really good, great as, you know, a kickoff guy especially. I mean, it seems like we covered like 10 or 15 kicks all year long, was money, you know, on field goals, extra points. And he had the big leg, too, where you could stretch it out 50-plus yards and still know that he's got the leg to get it through. And the punting stuff was spectacular for him. Didn't notice it a whole lot because we didn't punt a whole lot, which is another good thing. But, yeah, he's definitely going to be missed. All-time leading scorer at Oklahoma, which is interesting. I don't know that there'll ever be another 4-year period with this type of offense with a kicker that starts the whole time. So I think that record could be safe.
Could stand for a while. Gabe Burkich, Reeves Munchau will be a couple of names in the mix there to replace Austin Seibert. We'll have to see how that plays out. And when you talk return men, C.D. Lamb was a key figure in the punt return game a year ago. T.J. Pledger before his injury. I think they'll try a bunch of bodies there. We won't know until the fall, probably.
Well, they got plenty of them, as we talked about earlier. Skill guys are all over the place. You've got wide receivers that can handle those duties. We've got a stable of running backs. They like to put running backs, maybe if they're not getting enough carries, put them back there as a return guy, maybe get a shot to take one the distance.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, your schedule for the spring game. It is Spring Football Energy Day 2019. Back after this.
The 2019 Energy Day Spring Game Preview Show is presented by Enable Midstream, a partner in your success. OG&E, power at the speed of life. And Echo Energy, inspiring energy.
The rule of three states, things that come in threes are inherently more appealing than those that don't. We couldn't agree more. Three trucks, one GMC. Step up to GMC and get nearly $12,200 total value on this specially equipped Sierra Denali when you finance through GM Financial. See your Central Oklahoma GMC dealers.
At Riverwind, we've been #1 for over 10 years. Because we all work together as one. To make you feel like one in a million. Home to one unbeatable concert venue. Featuring a never-ending stream of #1 acts. And with great restaurants and one gorgeous hotel, it's something for everyone. All in one place.
What is tradition? A set of ideas? Rituals passed down through generations? Or is it the people who take up the banners as they make their mark on the world? How will you make yours? Degrees online, on campus, on your schedule. Become the tradition with OU Extended Campus.
Ford is built for spring. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the highest ranked sports car, get a Ford. If you want a great offer on the most trusted SUV, get a Ford. If you want big savings on America's best-selling truck, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get to your best in Oklahoma Ford dealer. Hurry in to get a 2019 Mustang with $2,500 cash back. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
I'm Drew Brees, and I'm a quarterback.
I'm Alex Ruiz, and I'm a quarterback.
I've thrown a touchdown pass to win a game.
I've thrown a touchdown pass to win a game.
I've experienced victory and defeat.
Victory and defeat.
But I've never had to fight back after losing my leg. I salute challenged athletes like Alex Ruiz, the true heroes of sport.
Thanks to CAF, I'm getting back into the game.
Yeah, let's get with it.
We think we know them, the superstars who live their lives on camera, but I want their real story, because here, nothing is off limits.
Fair Game with Christine Leahy. Weekdays at 5:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Thanks to our Cornerstone television partners, OU Medicine, Anheuser-Busch, OU Extended Campus, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, Coca-Cola, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back to our coverage of Spring Football Energy Day 2019. It's a big day coming up this weekend. A whole lot of things going on. We got a 2-hour pregame show just for the Sooner Radio Network coming up for this game.
It's gonna be a lot.
I know I can't, but we got Chris Plank, so I think we're in good hands. For a full list of all the events going on, the times, everything, make sure you check out Soonersports.com. They got it all taken care of there for you. Pay attention to your social medias and everything this weekend as well. It's going to be popping off. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ton of things going on, and you're going to want to be a part of all of it. What are you going to be watching for?
Well, I think the number one thing, you got to be watching the quarterback battle and see how these guys respond, see how the comfort level is behind an offensive line that's trying to get it together. The second thing is that offensive line. Are they creating a pocket? Are they plowing the way in the running game? I mean, there's some different moving parts. They've moved a couple of guys to some different positions. Still kind of a work in progress. And lastly, defensively, turnovers, right? Are they going to create turnovers? Are they going to have that effort to the football that we've been talking about? Are they going to put some pressure on the quarterback, get into the backfield with this attack front? There's going to be mistakes. They're going to mess up. They've put a bunch on those guys this spring. They've installed an entire defense. There's going to be some mix-ups on the back end. Some guys may miss some run fits. But is the effort there? Are they stripping at the ball? Are they creating those big minus yardage plays in the backfield and getting those turnovers?
Got about 15 seconds here. Isn't it amazing what a show Lincoln Riley has turned this into, and what a big day it is for recruiting and everything?
I mean, you couldn't ask for more. They've got tons of guys coming in for official visits. They've got unofficial visits coming in. Basically, any recruit out there wants to come to Oklahoma's spring game, so it's going to be huge. Going to be a ton of guys, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere for them.
Our first look at Alex Grinch, our first look at Jalen Hurts. We hope to see you there. Spring Football Energy Day 2019. Enjoy, everybody.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sooner Sports Spotlight alongside Chris Plank. I'm Jessica Cootie, and we only get to say this one time every spring. It is game week for Oklahoma football, and we've got the head coach, Lincoln Riley, here in studio coming up in just a few minutes. But the annual spring game now just days away.
Cannot wait. The excitement of a game day in the middle of April. It doesn't get much better than this. The fanfare, the excitement, the energy. Jess, it's going to be a fun weekend.
So Oklahoma coming off its second straight college football playoff appearance, third in the last 4 years, and here this spring working to make it 4 out of the last 5. And as always, lots of hype surrounding this football team. Lots of different storylines surrounding this team each and every year, but we start with perhaps the biggest one, and it's just copy and paste from last year, replacing the Heisman Trophy winner, although Lincoln Riley is quick to point out that every quarterback battle is different, and what makes this one different is that we've got guys in completely different places in their careers, but it's still been a battle.
Yeah, you joked on your podcast interview with Lincoln Riley about, hey, you're getting pretty good at this quarterback battle thing. And I had to laugh because he laid it out very simply and efficiently. Here's Jalen Hurts, who's a guy that's established, has won a national championship, knows what it takes. And then you have Tanner Mordecai, who's young, who hasn't really taken a live snap as a starter in a college football game, Jess. Two guys incredibly talented, at just ridiculously different points in their career battling it out right now.
It's been competitive. Look, he maintains that it is absolutely still a battle, and they're still going at it. And also talking about how he has to learn how to coach these guys, that you coach them differently as well. But it's been certainly fun for him. He loves these quarterback battles when they do come up. So it'll be fun to see how these guys come out and perform in the spring game. So storyline number 2, completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, is the offensive line this year compared to last year. 4 players from the best offensive line expected to be drafted in April's NFL draft, including Cody Ford, who's projected in the first round. Creed Humphrey, we've heard from him, a lot of people talking about how he will eventually be a first rounder. He is not going through spring practice right now due to an injury. There's going to be some growing pains when you replace that many guys that started that many games and together at that. But Bill Bedenbaugh saying that, the growth, the improvement from start of spring to where it is now has been tremendous. And these guys are hungry. Look, they've been waiting for their number to be called, and they've recruited them, and they've done well in the recruiting process as well. So excited to see where these guys come along as well.
All high-profile recruits, too, Jess, that came in. So you're excited about that talent. And not having Creed Humphrey out there is probably a challenge more than we could ever imagine. But maybe, Jess, in the long run, it's good for this team to kind of understand that Bill Bedenbaugh demands that every single player on the offensive line knows every single position. So they're really being challenged this spring session in order to truly understand the responsibility. And, hey, no better opportunity than just be thrust right into the fire, right?
And to storyline number 3, the defense, the new defensive staff. And all I can say is energy, energy, energy. Plank, you'd fit right in with them.
Oh, absolutely. The only thing I lack is the speed. If this is Speed D, I would be out.
You're out.
Hey, and Roy Manning leading the charge. Look at just working the drills with the individuals, Jess. I love to see that from a coaching front. And I know no one's been out there, no one's watched these guys more than you. You can feel that energy when you're on that practice field, can't you?
Yeah, you love the way that these guys are buying in. Alex Grinch, I got a chance to talk with him, and that's one thing that he said, look, if nothing else, at least they've bought into the effort-based part of this, and that's kind of allowed for us to make up for some days that we don't get, because you don't get very many days out there on the field in spring ball.
And it's a whole new defense.
Right.
This is different than anything these guys have been taught or taught or understood before. It's a whole new mindset. It's a whole new approach. And obviously, again, you're being thrown right into the fire like the offensive line is, but it gives guys like Patrick Fields an opportunity to go out and make plays and catch the eyes of this coaching staff. So far, so good.
So again, 3 new faces to this coaching staff. We talked a lot about Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator. He brings along with him Roy Manning and Brian Odom, a familiar name around here, member of the 2000 National Championship team. So while these names are new, there are also a lot of new names or familiar names that started a lot of games for this defense that he's working with, that he's been pleased with here in this spring.
Yeah, how can you not be at least somewhat excited by the guys that are coming back on the interior of that defensive line, Jess? Because, you have guys like Hugh Overton, Neville Gallimore, who have played quite a few games. So that's a little clay that Alex Grinch can mold.
Industries to completely shut down.
Hyperinflation, vanishing client orders, and a flight of employees. Lately, the situation has gotten even worse. Unprecedented nationwide blackouts have paralyzed the factory and the rest of the country, cutting off power, water, and cell service to millions of Venezuelans.
Mayfield type edge to him. So I'm really excited to watch this dude spin it with this group of wide receivers. And then on the defensive side, obviously Caleb Kelly is lost for some time, so you need someone to step up in that inside will linebacker position. Jess, I'm excited about Deshaun White to see what this youngster could potentially do. Again, you talk about these new coaches getting an opportunity to put their hands on these players. Teddy Lehman, who knows a thing or two about playing both inside and outside, has raved about Deshaun White. And now to get this opportunity, again, it's going to be hard to tell a lot from the spring game. I'm really excited to watch him come this weekend.
There are so many playmakers at receiver. It's crazy the amount of talent the Sooners have here. I think you're going to see a number of guys catch some passes, but I'm going to go with Charleston Rambo, and I think I picked him last year too, but hey, let's just keep with Charleston Rambo. He's a guy that has really impressed Dennis Simmons this spring. He picked up where he left off in the Orange Bowl when he came up big for Kyler Murray. You know, he had 74 yards, 3 catches, including a 49-yard touchdown, but this is a guy that they thought was going to be big all year, but he was set back due to that injury late during fall camp, so we really saw him come on at the end of the season, and he's been big this spring as well. Mark it down, Charleston Rambo. A touchdown from Charleston Rambo will be in the box score.
Jessica Cootie making guarantees for the spring game. I like it.
Okay, so let's keep it with the Orange Bowl theme, shall we, as we move to the defensive side of the ball. Patrick Fields also came in and played big minutes during that game in the college football playoff. He came in for Robert Barnes, who went down with the injury, and Fields came in and had 8 tackles, and he was a true freshman last season. So you make tremendous jumps between freshman and sophomore season, right? And Alex Grinch has mentioned him as one of the defensive players who are trending to be a starter. He's been pleased with Fields and his consistency. And go ahead, Plank, mark it down once again. Patrick Fields, interception in the box score this weekend.
Look at you calling shots. Hey, I'm excited about Patrick Fields, too, because whenever Alex Grinch was...
He's a Tulsa guy.
Well, yeah, he's a Union guy, absolutely. But Alex Grinch said he'd be on that starting secondary if the season were to start today. So he and Yell, not bad praise from Coach Grinch.
Okay, so this is like Christmas morning to Chris Plank. From spring football to softball and a series sweep over Baylor for Patty Gasso's Sooners. That makes win number 46 in a row that broke a previous school record that stood for 17 years. And they've won 25 straight. It's the nation's longest active win streak, 31 straight conference games. Oklahoma has not lost very often in Big 12 play over the last decade, but of the losses in the last 7 seasons that you can count on 2 hands, 3 of those have been to Baylor. So this is always a big matchup on the schedule, and Game 1 on Friday was indicative of that history.
Yeah, that 7-5 game was a lot tighter than I think anyone could have imagined. But Jess, we went left lane, hammer down on Saturday and Sunday. The Sooners on Saturday, Sid Romero got things going on Friday. She had 3 hits, missed the cycle by a single. She had a triple-double and a home run. Then on Saturday, oh my gosh, they were hitting the ball hard. Hard hit by Grace Green to start the scoring. Oklahoma ended up winning on Saturday 8-0. Then Sunday was Kaylee Clifton's senior day. And what did she do on her senior day? Yard work! Opposite field from CC, Oklahoma smoked Baylor 16-0. All 6 seniors hit a home run on their senior day.
Being that this is the second time you're seeing these highlights, man, you really amp up your play-by-play.
I liked Kaylee as she shoots her arrow into home plate. I don't know if you saw it there, but when she hit that home run, she had her finger up before she got to first base because she knew it was gone.
There you go. This team certainly played well on Saturday and Sunday. That's what Coach Gasso said in the locker room postgame. It felt like they had lost. They came out with a vengeance on Saturday and Sunday, and certainly loved the way they played and closed it out and bounced back after not playing as well as they wanted to on Friday.
Make sure you give Sammy Skelly some love, too. The freshman hit her second home run that went out of the stadium, so they're really hitting the ball well.
Did she sit next to you on the plane?
That's when she hit her first home, right after she got back on a trip. When she sat next to me, I'm Sammy Skelly's good luck charm. Mark it down.
Okay, so Oklahoma women's gymnastics, once again, a favorite to win another national championship. And in the new format this season in postseason play, they took care of business in regional action in Athens over the weekend, and Meg McDonald was there, and she has the full breakdown for us.
Not fazed at all by back-to-back days of elimination competition's final score 198.475 for their 10th straight regional championship. The field started out with 36 teams on the weekend. Now it's down to 8 as OU has another shot at a national championship in 2 weeks down in Fort Worth.
We started on balance beam, which is an event we have not started on yet this year, so that was new to us. We've been practicing a lot in the gym because our plan was to win the first session and start there. And so that was hugely important. I think that practice helped us a lot. That was the best beam set we've done all year. 49.7 feels like a record. I'm sure it's not, but it sure feels like one. So after that, I just felt like we were on cloud 9 and just used that adrenaline throughout the rest of the meet. Floor was exceptional. Evie again coming through in a pinch. Everyone just really spot on there. Vault, I think we showed a little fatigue going from floor to vault. We have to work on that. We have to get better at it because our landings weren't what they normally are. They're capable of so much more than those a couple steps backwards, just not as dynamic as they can be.
Congratulations once again to KJ Kindler. We'll have a full preview of the national championships coming up for you right here on Spotlight next week. So up next, the head coach himself, Lincoln Riley, here in studio. We're talking defense, we're talking quarterbacks, we're talking how to catch a punt, Kyler Murray calling plays, all of that and more. Stay tuned right here on Sooner Sports Spotlight.
Thanks to our cornerstone television partners, OU Medicine, Anheuser-Busch, OU Extended Campus, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, Coca-Cola, and OU Medicine.
What is tradition? A set of ideas? Rituals passed down through generations? Or is it the people who take up the banners as they make their mark on the world? How will you make yours? Degrees online, on campus, on your schedule. Become the tradition with OU Extended Campus.
It's not just where the coffee is grown or where it's roasted. It's not just where community coffee is made that makes it special. It's the people who make it. 4 generations with a passion for making each rich, premium cup better than the last. For our customers and our communities. Together, we make it right. We make it proud. We make it community.
You can't see the spirit of a pioneer, but you can feel it. It's seeing potential where no one else does. It overflows from the trailblazers, the change makers. It turns this into this before others even have time to blink. It pushes champions to be bigger, stronger, faster. The Sooner spirit is a passion to change the world, to love each other, and to do it all as one.
Presented by Community Coffee, family-owned Community Coffee, the official brewed coffee of OU Athletics. Taste the difference family makes. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Log on to Soonersports.tv/podcast to listen to old shows or subscribe to get the newest episodes. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Riverwind and Allstate.
Welcome back to Spotlight. We'll just a couple more practices left before it is time to kick it off in the annual spring game. And the head coach, Lincoln Riley, is actually on his way out to practice as soon as he walks off this set. So it's a busy time, and we do appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Exciting time, though, so can't wait for the game. And it's been a great spring, and what a perfect way to cap it off.
Yeah, so second full spring for you as the head coach. You're a seasoned vet at these things now. You know, when you start one of these spring times and you before you go into the first practice 5 weeks ago and then to where you are now, is there a list of certain goals that you kind of set out for a team that you want to make sure that we get this accomplished before practice number 15 is said and done?
Definitely. Yeah, each practice kind of has its own set. You've got team-wide goals. You know, probably more important than anything is just the chemistry. You know, there's so many new pieces on this team, both on the staff and obviously the players, that just seeing the group come together. You've got goals for each position group. You've got goals for individual players that have got to continue to grow, and we've had a chance to put them in a lot of different situations. They've certainly gotten a lot better. I think it's been, you know, as productive of a spring as we've had up to this point, but you certainly want to see it finish the right way.
Well, one of the big storylines, obviously, that effort-based defense that Alex Grinch is installing. You hear it a lot, the speed, the mentality of it all. How do you feel like your players are buying into that effort mentality that he says is so critical to how this defense works?
Well, it's definitely been a change. There's no doubt. You can see just the energy of our defensive staff, I think, has really rubbed off on the players. Players have done a good job being accountable with it. And listen, it's not an overnight fix. You know, Alex, our staff knew that. We all knew that. But our players have really you can feel the buy-in, and I think they can see the results when they played at a level that we're capable of. So we've still certainly got a long ways to go, but I think we've had a great start, and then just kind of the vibe and the mentality of that group this spring is very exciting here for the future.
And what about just the defensive staff as a whole with Coach Thibodeau and Ruffin and then those 3 new guys, how you feel like they've kind of meshed?
Yeah, they've meshed great. You know, that was a big part when we were making the hires, was just their chemistry. Because if those guys aren't on the same page, if those guys aren't cohesive, then it won't trickle down to the players. But you've seen those guys really grow together. They've all done a tremendous job. Alex has done a nice job leading the room, and I think our players can feel that.
So here we are another spring, and here you are yet again and replacing another Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. The thing about this spring you said that makes it different is that these players are all in different stages of their careers, and you're still learning how to coach them. How do you go about coaching a group and them individually when they are in such different places?
Well, it's just different coaching them. I think you go through these experiences together. It's the day in and day out grind of all the meetings, walkthroughs, all the practice time. You know, as a coach, you're trying to figure out how do they respond when I coach them like this? How do they respond when I coach them like that? But I think they're really starting to progress. I mean, they really are. They're getting comfortable with what we're doing. I think I'm starting to get a better feel for how to make them tick. But we certainly have ability there. You know, guys that can do it, and we've got some good pieces around them as well, which always makes a difference.
So at the spring game, obviously you're not going to run every play that's in your playbook. It's going to be more of a vanilla type style of offense. So what specifically will you be looking for out of your quarterbacks in that situation?
I would just say trust. Just how much do they trust, you know, what we've been building here this entire spring? You know, how much do they trust their decisions, their reads, their teammates, themselves? Do they get in on that stage and try to veer away from that, or do they really kind of stay locked into the moment? So I think that's for any quarterback that's new in any type of system, or a young quarterback, however you want to describe it. I think that's always the most important thing.
Okay, so the spring game has become quite the annual event in these parts. Lots going on, and in-game especially, there's lots of opportunities for OU students to win some great prizes. You've got a kick for tuition, catching punts for a 55-inch TV, rock, paper, scissors against CD for season tickets. Out of all of those competitions, which do you feel the most confident that you could win?
Probably catching the punts.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say catching the punts. I'm pretty good at rock, paper, scissors, too, so I think CD would go down. But, no, I would say catching the punts. But it's going to be fun. Look, listen, we've tried to do a great job here to make this a must-see event, an event that you can't miss. And credit to our staff, our administration. There's so many cool things going on around this game, and excited again to have another, you know, full, true game experience for our fans. And it's obviously, I've talked about it a bunch, it's so important from a recruiting perspective. I mean, this is going to be, you know, the one time a lot of these guys see what it's like to play football at Oklahoma and kind of get that feel before they make the biggest decision of their lives up to this point. And so we gotta show them our best. We gotta be at our best, and our fan base has to be at their best as well.
Can you give some pointers for some of those students that will be doing those competitions, whether it's catching the punt, kicking the field goal, or playing CD? I mean, do you have rock, paper, scissors, which they should go with?
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, I think that's just a straight gut feel. That's just catching the punts is going to be more difficult than they think, because some of them maybe caught punts in high school, but this is a little different when you're catching off our guys. So it's going to be in the air a little bit longer. So good luck. And then the kicking, you don't have to kick it as hard as you think. Just it doesn't take much to get there. So you make the first couple, you'll be in good shape.
Well, in addition to all of that, one lucky fan is also going to chance to come down on the field with you and call a play call with you as well. And so that brings up over the weekend, the last week, you had a special assistant coach with you on the sideline, as well as Kyler Murray, as he said, was taking in an off-season internship right there. He said he was calling the annexation of Puerto Rico.
That sounds like something. So, yeah. He got down there and let him call a few, and I said, yeah, it's not quite as easy as it looks. So, yeah, we had a good laugh about it. So great to have him, all of our former players around, and we're blessed. We're going to have a ton of those guys back here this weekend.
So if you had to call on one former player in a national championship game to call one play for you, who would that Sooner be and why?
Ooh, that's a great question. That's a great question. Man, you put me on the spot there, Jess. That's pretty good. You know, I'm tempted to say one of our guys that works for us now, since they've gotten a little bit of practice.
Probably go like Kel Gundy, right?
Yeah,
He's a former Sooner.
exactly. Yeah, we'll go with Coach Gundy. He helps me a lot from up top anyway. So
you got to think Kyler, though, and Baker would be on that list, right?
They would do well. They got a good feel for what works and pretty good intuition on those type of things as well.
So Kyler hopefully going to be one of those former players back this weekend. And then we saw last year you involved the NFL players in getting to coach the teams as well. You saw him get really involved. Adrian Peterson, Tony Jefferson, Lane Johnson, Trent Williams, they were all about winning that game. They were all in. You got some other guys coming back that are going to coach for you as well. Lane Johnson wanted in on that head coaching opportunity. You know, how special is this? What does this mean to you as the head coach of this program to have this kind of support, even from some of these players that didn't even play for you?
It means the world, you know, just because this place means the world to them. And that's one of the things that separates us, Oklahoma, is these guys care so much about it. They want to be involved. This place did so much for them, and they want to give back. It means a lot to our recruits to have a chance to interact with these guys, to talk with these guys. And it's just part of what makes this place a little bit different, is their willingness to come back, and some of these guys are so gracious with their time, and so it's very, very much appreciated.
All right, so you going with Lane Johnson as the winner?
I think Lane's probably going to be in pretty good shape, but I'll tell you what, it'll be competitive. I think they've now had a full year of trash talking a little bit, and so the stakes are going to be pretty high.
Hey, but if Tommy Harris is involved, like I'm told that he is, he's going to have the leg up on those pregame speeches, being that he's a motivational speaker.
There'll be a couple of good ones, but Tommy, don't ever bet against Tommy in that scenario. He's one of the best I've ever seen.
Should be a fun weekend. As you can see, so much going on. Don't want to miss it. This weekend coming up, the annual spring game. Coach Riley, we appreciate your time. I know you're busy.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more coming up right after this.
I'm Michelle Wee, and I'm a pro golfer.
I'm Jeremy Pointsnow, and I'm a competitive golfer.
I work hard every day.
Every day to improve my craft.
Because I want to be the best.
The best that I can be.
I shoot in the 60s and 70s.
I shoot in the 70s and 80s.
I've won a major golf championship, but I've never done it blind. I salute challenge athletes like Jeremy Pointsnow, the true heroes of sport.
I've been to Floyd Mayweather fight. I've been to Mike Tyson fight. No comparison.
Who is the highest paid athlete 3 of the last 4 years? Floyd Mayweather.
But his fights are boring. That thing he did with Conor McGregor was boring. Mayweather won't stand toe-to-toe.
Toe-to-toe for Floyd means, oh, take this and you can't hit me.
Heavyweights just ain't gonna dance forever.
Because they ain't out of shape.
I know. When you see a fight, you want to see somebody fall.
Ooh, that ding-ding is special, right?
I'm Drew Brees, and I'm a quarterback.
I'm Alex Ruiz, and I'm a quarterback.
I've thrown a touchdown pass to win a game.
I've thrown a touchdown pass to win a game.
I've experienced victory and defeat.
Victory and defeat.
But I've never had to fight back after losing my leg. I salute challenged athletes like Alex Ruiz, the true heroes of sport.
Thanks to CAF, I'm getting back into the game.
Sooners Sports Spotlight is brought to you by Air Comfort Solutions. Make the winning call today. Taco Mayo, fresh ingredients built to order. The Trails, Norman's club of choice. And Red Carpet Charters, the official motor coach carrier of OU Athletics. The Sooners Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Log on to Soonersports.tv/podcast to listen and subscribe.
Welcome back to the show. Time for In Case You Missed It. And we begin with the #1 ranked Oklahoma men's gymnastics team who won the 8th consecutive MPSF conference title on Saturday inside McCaslin Fieldhouse, edging out #2 Stanford to win their 18th MPSF crown and extend the winning streak to 116. Yul Moldauer claiming yet another all-around title and also claiming titles on pommel, still rings, and parallel bars. How about Levi Anderson with the highest score of the season on vault? He took home the event title on vault, and sophomore Gage Dyer claims his first conference crown on the floor. And up next for the Sooners, they'll head to Champaign, Illinois for the 2019 NCAA Championships. April 19th and 20th, looking to make it 5 straight national championships.
To the diamond, an incredibly entertaining series between Oklahoma and the 23rd ranked Horned Frogs. It wrapped up on Sunday with the Sooners dropping the rubber match to the Horned Frogs 6-4 despite a furious 9th inning rally. In fact, all 3 games went to the last at bat this weekend, including Briley Ware's walk-off winner in Game 1 on Friday. The Sooners won 7-6 on Saturday. The Sooners had the winning run at the plate in the 9th before falling 4-2, and of course that rubber match on Sunday. Diego Muniz finished the weekend with 5 runs, 5 hits, and 4 RBIs. OU at 5-4 now in Big 12 play.
Oklahoma women's tennis split the weekend, starting on Saturday with a dramatic 4-3 win at Wichita State, with the match tied at 3-all. Junior Alexandra Koryashvili clinched the 4-3 decision at the top spot in singles, rallying after losing the first set. Sooners then traveled to Stillwater, lost a tough one to 12th-ranked Oklahoma State, 7-0. Sooners close out the regular season with trips to Texas Tech and TCU this weekend.
Men's and women's track continue the 2019 outdoor season down at College Station, Texas A&M. First ever event in the A&M's new E.B. Cushing Stadium. Sooners swept the hammer throw. Sophomore Lauren Jones won the women's event, with freshman Bailey Campbell securing the victory for the men. OU picked up a pair of second-place finishes in the also in the shot put, 2 top 10 finishes in the long jump, and Marcus Mitchell took home 3rd place in the men's triple jump. They're off to Los Angeles before returning home for the John Jacobs Invitational April 19th and 20th.
All right, quick break for us, but when we come back, we're wrapping up the show with our favorite play of the entire week. Keep it here for There's Only One on Spotlight.
Sportswear, menswear, anywhere you go, Threads on Campus Corner in Norman can get you there in style. With the latest from brands like David Donahue, Peter Millar, Ralph Lauren, and always the newest custom OU apparel. Threads is also the official clothier of OU Athletics, outfitting student athletes and Sooner sports personalities. Threads on Campus Corner, when you're simply concerned with the best.
Mother to mother, he is my world. Hearing his little heartbeat, watching him grow, and knowing that he has big dreams ahead. But when the unexpected rocked our world, and care required more than a kiss, I took him where I knew he'd be in good hands. That's why I wouldn't take him anywhere else but the Children's Hospital at OU Medicine.
Ford is built for spring. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty, get a Ford. If you want to save more on the brand with more SUVs on the road today, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get a Ford. Get to your best in Oklahoma Ford dealer. Now, get 0 for 60 plus $2,000 in total savings on the 2019 Explorer. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
What to watch for, presented by Red Carpet Charters. We've talked a lot about the spring game. Keep it here on Sooner Sports TV for all your coverage on that. And baseball, softball both hit the road for series against Big 12 opponents. And tennis, senior day at home here on Sunday. Make sure and check that one out at the Headington Family Tennis Center. All right, closing up the show with There's Only One, our favorite play of the entire weekend. We're giving it to Maggie Nichols with her first 10 on bars this season.
As Nichols gets ready to finish up for Oklahoma. Stuck landing. Maggie Nichols sends the Sooners into Fort Worth with a perfect 10 on bars.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the OSU Roundup.